Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Jeff Johnson. You're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I wonder what this episode is about. Well, kids, wonder no more. It's time for another episode of WonderCast.
That was punerific.
Thank you. That's right, kids. We're back. It's been a while.
Back from the grave.
Most of us. Oh, yes, back from the grave. Yes. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Mr. Will Allred and Mr. Justin the Outlaws. Good.
Hello. Good to be back with you both.
Unfortunately, Mr. Batman's favorite #1 fan, Ray, could not be here. So. Hopefully next
time. We'll hopefully have him on the next one.
Yes. Yeah. Because it'll be a few months between this and there. Kids, so.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, tonight's assignment was Marvel Premiere 55 and Wonder Man #1 from 1986.
1986.
Yeah.
So, I think when we were talking on Sector 2814, Will, you said you have both these issues? Like in
I'm pretty sure that I've got them in a box somewhere. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are worth quite a bit now.
It might be soon, yeah.
Really, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I bought them off the stand or as back issues. I don't know that I bought them off the stand. Although that Wonder Man, maybe. I mean, because it was 86, so it might have been. It might have shown up, at the drugstore where they had a spinner rack where I bought comics.
and you were a fan of the Avengers at that point, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, reading the Avengers by Roger Stern, John Buscema, Tom Palmer. Those were my Avengers. I mean,
yes.
that's what I grew up with. I had a subscription to the Avengers for many years of my youth.
Nice.
He read the Avengers.
I love that.
He read the Avengers from then continuously until a speed bump.
Yes. There's a pothole in the road.
There was.
There's a hole on
it. It was no longer for me at that point.
Yes. I'm with you there, yeah.
What, are you allergic to cash grab or something? Spider-Man and Wolverine? Come on.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, I know that, we're resetting it to Marvel's most popular characters like it was when it first started, but it stopped being that, like really soon after, especially when you had Cap's Kooky Quartet, and then from then on, it was like, no, that wasn't Marvel's most popular characters. It was the Avengers, right?
Right.
I mean, eventually it gets to the point. It's like if you're not in the Fantastic Four or the X-Men, you're an Avenger pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
See, and
one of those three groups,
or a reservist,
Yeah.
I really loved Kurt Busiek's kind of take on the Fantastic Four was the family.
Mm-hmm.
The mutants were the the X-Men were the outcasts.
Yeah.
But the Avengers were the varsity. That was the A team. If they showed up, you were like, everything's going to be fine. If the Defenders showed up, if the Defenders showed up, you were like, I'm getting out of here. This is about to get weird, right?
Yeah.
Especially those early Defenders too, because it's like, Namor's big enough hassle, but it's like, the Hulk might save you, but he might destroy everything else.
Exactly.
Or eat
Doctor Strange was there to pick up the pieces.
Or the Silver Surfer just, whatever.
Or Doctor Strange might be there to try to pick up your wife,
Yeah.
Oh, well, possibly that too. Namor could have done that too a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does love wives. I forgot about that.
He does have a certain fixation on the Invisible Woman.
Yes. Yeah, that rascal.
Yeah, him and John Byrne.
Right. What a coincidence.
Actually, that's a series I have not read since it came out, but I kind of would like to go back and just reread. Is that Namor series by Byrne?
Oh
That's one of my
yeah.
favorites. I love that.
It had a lot of good stuff, and then I don't think I lasted long after Jay Lee came on because it was such a radical shift when Byrne
that's
left.
when I stopped. Yeah, I couldn't deal with the Shaggy Namor after that.
Yeah. And then Phil, we had a crossover with that, and for Star Blast.
I was gonna say on the
Star Blast.
on the Quantum Zone, some maniac made him read Star Blast, which Namor was a part of. Yeah,
that's right. Oh, everyone was a part of Star Blast. I think that wasn't in X-Men.
It was so bad, so bad.
remember that Fantastic Four issue where we got this line in a Marvel comic.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
That is correct.
That's right. The immortal line.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you, Tom DeFalco.
Yes. For that golden nugget.
Oh my god, it's so funny because
some kind of nugget.
Yeah. Oh. No, Lilith and I were talking to Gigi Chichester this morning, and he said we started talking about DeFalco. He's like, "Oh, you guys should interview him if you get the chance." I'm like, "Oh yeah,
I would love that.
Yes.
I'd love to talk to Tom DeFalco. That'd be fantastic.
He has so much, just writing and being an editor, and yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he was editor in chief for a while.
Yeah.
Through a lot of big stuff.
Did the whole Spider Girl thing with Ron Friends. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love that one.
Yep. And then and they even had that series, Spider Girl plus, was it Fantastic Five?
Yeah.
That was part of the same universe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that Fantastic Five one.
Mm-hmm. There's a few of those. Yeah. Oh, J2, the son of Juggernaut.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was J2,
yeah.
J2.
I gotta go back and reread some of those.
Oh, the Spider Girl one's is the best. I mean, it seems so weird. Like a lot of those imprints, I don't know if they just put like the best talent on there, but a lot of times the Spider-Man book ends up being the best or whatever. Like special line they have, like 2099. Spider-Man 2099 was the best.
Yeah, that was the standout.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the Spider Girl series last? Was it like 100 issues? I mean,
it went on for a while.
Yeah, it went 100 issues, and then later on, they didn't last too long, but they did like an Amazing Spider Girl run, and then yeah, it did. I mean, that didn't last as long as the first one, but I mean, so yeah, it literally, I mean, there was over. If you add up all her series, it was over 100 issues. So
was Pat Olaf the artist on that?
Yeah, for a while. Yeah.
At the beginning, maybe toward the beginning,
yeah.
because
I think
he's the one.
Yeah, then Ron Friends takes over at some point, I believe. Yeah, so
maybe after the first year.
Yeah, was he the artist on Untold Tales of Spider-Man 2?
Oh yeah, he might have been.
Okay, because that was the Busiek was writing that, the stuff that took place during.
Yeah. Because I want to cover that eventually on Ultimate Spider-Cast, because I think towards the end of that series, it was 20. That one was 25 issues, and it's like they gave you like a little roadmap. They're like, "Oh, well, issue 1 take place between what was it, like Amazing 3 and 4?" And yeah,
that's cool.
Because they had like some classic villains, and they like Kurt Busiek introduced some new villains. Like there was one where it's like a young boy gets turned into like basically a man bat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I think Olaf was kind of doing a modernized version of Ditko, which I thought looked really clean and cool and slick. I mean, it was nice, good looking art.
Oh yeah. See, we don't even need to do WonderCast. We just need to do the old man reminiscing podcast. I mean,
get off my lawn.
Get off my back issues. Oh, there's the title. Get off my back.
Get off my back issues. I love that.
I don't know,
remember
Phil,
when they were 75 cents.
Yeah.
Right. You've still got the electric mullet. That's going to be your baby.
Again, that only works if you're talking all '90s Superman.
That's right.
That's true.
But I want that so much. Hold on, I was trying to get the cover for Untold Tales of Spider-Man here. So, I mean, it is great. It's great art here.
And that was I believe not too long after Busiek had maybe just done Marvels.
Oh yeah.
And it was during his Avengers run, I think, maybe. If I don't know, it's been so long ago, I can't remember when exactly it was. But he was doing a lot of really good work at that time.
Fantastic
and then
stuff.
Kurt Busiek's Astro City had come out at some point along
Astro
there.
City.
Yeah, there's that Untold Tales of Spider-Man. Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Yep, Olaf. Does that say Olaf down there at the bottom?
I believe so. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. It is like a modern take on Ditko. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is the whole point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because they're setting it during that time when.
Yep.
Because Ditko was the first 30.
Is it 38 or so?
38? I think you're right. I think it's 38. Yeah.
Because I think wasn't that the big the big issue between Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, or it was like the identity of the Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ditko just wanted to make him a guy, and Stan wanted to make it personal.
Yeah, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I think there were lots of other issues too.
Oh yeah,
probably been some tension building up, and then
I just say that was the last issue. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I mean, and if you read some of Ditko's later work, he's very much into the objectivist Ayn Rand, libertarian. I'm going to go ahead and say it, craziness.
Yeah. One-way ticket to Crazy Town.
Exactly. But, hey, it's what he believed. It was crazy, but that's what he believed.
So. Oh, yeah. If Ditko had been in charge, I think Spider-Man would have been started out as like an anti-hero or something,
Yeah. And that's, Stan certainly doesn't lack for credit that he either took or is ascribed to him. But I really feel like when he worked with a great artist and let the artist do, I feel like a lot of the heavy lifting, he would come in and then build on that. And because if you look at Ditko, on this, and then you look at Kirby, of course, all the times he worked with Kirby creating all those characters. Was he also with Ditko on Doctor Strange, I think?
Yeah.
So I mean, you have these, Kirby's a once a generation type artist, and Ditko, maybe not a once a generation, but a rare artist that Stan Lee is able to, they made each other better.
Right.
I feel like
they brought out the strengths in each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on, when he was working with John Romita Sr., I mean that
exactly
partnership as well was a good example of that. They brought out the best in each other, and the first John Romita created a great foundation for him to build off of with a lot of stories.
And you'll look at those early Spider-Man when Romita Sr. comes on, because of his extensive experience in the romance comics at the time. Spider-Man kind of takes a little turn and looks a lot different, and probably has a lot more of those romance style elements in it. So
it feels different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we have Guy Gardner issues here?
I was gonna say, that's the old joke. Yeah, and we always drag it out when we have to do Guy Gardner.
Talk about everything else except what we're here to talk about.
Guy Gardner, warrior.
That's right.
All right. So yeah, like I said here, I'll do the credits for these issues, then we'll kind of walk through these. So all right, we'll start with Marvel Premiere because one it did come first, and not Will's not the one Will likes the most. So.
I don't think I'm alone in that, Phil.
No,
he's not.
The cover's nice.
Mm-hmm.
The covers are kind of similar. It's Wonder Man lifting like something heavy.
In
that same outfit.
Very similar poses. Yes.
That's kind of what he does, right?
Yeah. Both covers are great.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Marvel Premiere number 55 from August 1980. A Force of Two. Writers David Michelinie and Bob Layton. Penciler Ron Wilson, inker Joe Sinnott, colors Glennis Ween, letterer John Costanza, and editor Jim Salicrup.
See, all of these are creators that make good stuff, but
do you think maybe was that the reason you didn't like the writing in this one as much, Will, is because there was two writers, like it was Michelinie and someone else? Because I'm trying to remember, was he the only one on the second one?
I think he was the only one on the second one.
Yeah,
so,
he was.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So do you think maybe it was just the thing of two great writers, but maybe they had conflicting ideas, or
well, they may have canceled each other out to a certain extent because I mean, this story seems really generic. Like you could pretty much plug any strong bulletproof dude in Wonder Man's place and you've got the same story.
Yeah.
It just like you said, it didn't feel like Wonder Man. The story doesn't feel like Simon Williams. It doesn't feel like Wonder Man.
Well, if you go to that first page, it's crediting Michelinie and Layton for plot, but for both of them are accredited for plot, but Michelinie is plot / writer.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, and he's usually he's such a great writer. I mean, you look at the early Iron Man run, Demon in a Bottle.
Yeah.
And that entire run, with Romita Jr. on art, he's written so many great, his Avengers at the time.
Avengers, Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
great stuff.
He's written so many great things. I don't know. This is maybe the dud, or maybe this was done in 30 minutes over lunch. Who knows, right?
Maybe this was a fill-in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's had bad experiences with people, because I did reach out to him, to David Michelinie, just to talk about all his works, and he was just like, he said he doesn't do live interviews anymore.
Oh,
so
interesting, huh?
I'm like, well, kiss your butt. We love your stuff. I'm thinking,
absolutely.
Stuff,
We'll talk about Iron Man with him any day of the week.
Yeah, exactly. Iron Man, Spider-Man. I forgot about that Avengers run. Yeah, Avengers.
Some great stuff in that Avengers run too. Not a whole lot happened in this issue. I mean, there's this long bit of dialogue with him and this other guy. With Maddie, and this conversation that goes on for way too long. They break into this complex, and there's a little bit of action. There's a little bit of intrigue with this mysterious woman, and then there's a brief confrontation with the Dreadnought, and that's really it. Not really a lot of anything of consequence happens in this issue.
Yeah, it's basically what Simon Williams discovers. Yeah, people are up to no good with his former company, and
and it did his friend die? I mean, I think we're at the end, or I guess we're left to think that he's died. So there's not really any resolution to this. My guess, because of who the writer was that this was probably Madame Mask. Potentially, or
because there was a woman in the shadows,
or Madame Hydra, maybe, or I don't know, but one of those characters that he's used before, on lots of different titles.
Yeah, because he never played it off in the Avengers. Because I mean, he was writing Avengers at this point, right? And Wonder Man was in the Avengers. Yeah.
Wasn't he a regular member then in 1980?
I think so,
Well, there is an editor's note in this issue for Avengers 193 3, I think. So
yeah,
it must be around that era. Yeah.
In the next issue, he had since in the one shot he had since become a reserve member.
Yep, exactly.
So at this point, he was still an active member of the team.
But is it just that this was Marvel Premiere and I mean, I haven't read a ton of Marvel Premiere, but isn't it just like one and done stories, and it just seems like they're throwing a different character in there every issue. I don't know if are they just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks and what people are saying, we need more of this, we need more of this.
Probably, but Marvel Premiere was where Scott Lang first showed up as Ant-Man, which was a great issue by the same writer.
Yes, Justin and I did cover that.
Yeah. That's a great issue. Love both of those. And this was kind of like where they would introduce new characters as well, or where they would put a spotlight on new characters or lesser known characters, trying to get some more popularity for them, like Wonder Man, who hadn't really had much of a spotlight outside of the Avengers at this point. I think this was his first solo story, wasn't it?
I think so. I wonder too, because
you wonder?
Yeah. That things between Marvel and DC have always been kind of, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're terrible. And I wonder if they brought Wonder Man back because it was a poke in the eye at DC because of Wonder Woman. I don't know. It's just like, it seems like something that might have happened during that time. But 82 that they did the new Teen Titans X-Men crossover? Was that 82 or 83?
I believe it was 82. I just covered it with Kristen. So, it was somewhere in that era.
So, I mean, relations might have been fine. It's just, hey, we've got this character. Here's a story, throw him out. But,
I was going to say, were we calling Shazam Captain Marvel in this era? So was it just like, oh, you're using the Marvel name, we're going to call character Wonder Man?
Yeah.
Although Stan Lee kind of created that in the 60s. So was he just like, oh, they have a Wonder Woman, we'll do a Wonder Man.
We'll do a Wonder Man.
See, he came back in, what was it, Avengers 150, I think, right? 149, somewhere in there, Brother Voodoo and all that stuff. Which would have been, 76, maybe?
Hold on.
77, maybe? I don't know.
We'll have to cover that one day, too, his return. Well, maybe his first appearance and his return.
We should. We should definitely cover those. Yeah.
If it's, let's see, 151 was September 1976. So
76.
1976, yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I don't know, because they introduced him, done in one issue. He dies in Avengers number 9. Sorry, dies in Avengers number 9.
The first time,
and it gets brought back in 150 and 76. So
I think it's 152 because there he is with
152. Okay.
Black Talon, aka Chicken Man.
Yeah,
Chicken Man. I love that cover too.
Yeah, that's an awesome cover. So it's he didn't appear between Avengers number 9 and number 152, right? So it was well over a decade, since he had appeared. And then, he was always kind of a background character. And I think, Shooter seemed to like to play with him, in his Fear of Death, because, we got him during Korvac, right? The Korvac saga.
Right. Which was a big deal. Love that one.
Yeah. And then, the thing was, my fist hit as hard as Thor's hammer. Sorry, that popped into my head. But, he's always been kind of a background character, and this issue of Marvel Premiere, I don't think helped the case to make him not a background character.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it didn't give him enough good stuff to do with this story.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of you were just dropped in. Why is he looking into this? And it was just kind of, here it is and it's done. And there you go. Story's over.
Yeah.
Now, the other issue that we're going to talk about, I think, is a lot better because, and it's by the same writer. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Much better story. I agree.
Oh yeah. All right. So that one, Wonder Man #1, is actually the first #1 from
Yeah.
With a gorgeous Bill Sienkiewicz cover on it.
Yes. Yes. I was saying to Phil recently that if they ever do an epic collection or some type of collection like that of Wonder Man, like to get hype for him before the new show comes out, I hope that they use this cover as the cover for such a collection because I think it's gorgeous and
it is.
Needs to be seen more.
It is, and I agree with you to a point, but I love the Jeff Johnson Wonder Man #1 cover so much.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you like reprinted everything before that series, maybe use this cover, but then after that, you use the Jeff Johnson cover.
Yeah. Like have an 80s collection and a 90s collection, then have the Jeff Johnson cover for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
in the 80s one, they could cover like the solo Avengers stuff and the Marvel Comics Present stuff. And
all of that,
Marvel, that's what you need to do. It's like, put out collections. Wonder Man in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah. Wonder Man through the decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas tree outfit and everything.
Oh, my eyes hurt just thinking about that.
Yes, both of these issues tonight are safari jacket kids. So
same costume in both. I actually like the safari jacket costume. It's grown on me over the years.
It's not too costumey. It's just kind of more. This is what I wear. I got the W on the pockets. It's whatever.
All right, so no Wonder Man #1 from March 1986. The title Wonder Man. Writer David Michelinie, penciler Kerry Gamble, inker Vince Coletta, colorist Christy Shealy, letterer Ken Lopez, and editor Lynn Cohen. And there is a note here. This issue takes place, it says, between Marvel 2-1-86 and West Coast Avengers #1.
The West Coast Avengers limited series against the Blank and Graviton.
Yes.
I bought those off the newsstand.
What was Marvel 2-1 number 86? I don't remember.
Hold on, let me open this up. Oh, it's the one where Ben Grimm's sitting there having a beer with Sandman.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I don't think I've read that one. Wow, okay.
I think that's the one where where the Sandman reforms.
Oh,
that's when they start him down the road to the hero. Because I think it's after there's like a 2 issue Amazing Spider-Man arc. Was it like 217 and 218 or something? I think it's written by Denny O'Neil, where like Hydro Man and Sandman combined into this like quicksand muck monster thing.
Oh wow!
Not intentionally, but they. So that after they get separated, the Sandman's like, "Oh, I was in his head. I was in Hydro Man's head, and it ain't pretty." And basically scares him straight. Until around the year 2000, when the wizard throws him into another machine. It's like, "Oh, you're evil again."
Boom! Yeah, you're evil again.
Yeah,
because he was an Avenger.
Yes,
he was. Yeah, and he hung out with Silver Sable in the Wild Pack for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Silver Sable. Wait a minute. Okay, so this 1986 issue takes place because the Marvel 2-1 is from April 1982. So it takes place between this 1986 issue takes place between this 1982 issue and West Coast Avengers
#1. Which was another probably 1986 issue as well, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know. If I read that, I don't know if I. Why Marvel Team Up 86? Because I don't think Wonder Man's even in that.
I don't know.
So I'm looking at the synopsis because I forget, but I don't think he's in there.
Well, I love in this issue.
Oh, you know why? Because Sandman shows up in this issue. That's why.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So I love the fact that he finds out that he doesn't, because in the previous issue he's like, I better hold my breath. That only gives me 90 seconds. I'm like, dude, you don't have to breathe. He finds out here that he doesn't have to breathe, right? Which then plays into the the cliffhanger ending of West Coast Avengers #3, where Graviton has him pinned at the bottom of the pool, right? And you're like, oh no, he's dead. But he doesn't have to breathe, so he's not dead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's the other thing too. Because Justin and I were just doing an episode of Marvel Tales, and one of the issues we covered was Marvel 2-in-151, which is like it's Ben Grimm has like a bunch of guest stars. Nick Fury's in there, Carol Danvers, Beast, and Wonder Man's in there. And basically, by the end of the adventure, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, we're too tired to play pokers," which were the original plan was to play poker, except for Wonder Man, because he doesn't need to sleep.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, he doesn't need to breathe. He doesn't need to sleep.
He doesn't need to sleep.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All right, so yeah, let's walk through this one, kids. Oh, but no, the end of that last one, like you're saying, oh, did his old like business partner die or something? No, he did the tropey. He was holding his hand and he said his last words, and then the business partner, as he dies, the head turns. He goes, "Remember, it's okay now."
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Do you
not
think
the best? Not the best.
And again, too, Michelini had more time to think about it too. But it's like, is it just Marvel premiere? Oh, we need a new character every month. Let's, but this is titled Wonder Man. We had a plan for Wonder Man for this issue. Plus, it's longer too. So
I mean, it is longer, and they sprung for a and oh man, this cover's awesome, and the cover. After seeing this cover, the immediate cover by Sienkiewicz that came to mind was one from a couple years earlier on Transformers #1.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Another great Sienkiewicz cover.
This is my childhood we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, Sienkiewicz has some good Moon Knight too.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, that's
New Mutants.
Yeah. He really started out as almost like a Xerox copy of Neil Adams, right? And then when he got on Moon Knight, he quickly kind of came into his own, and nobody else is like him.
Very distinctive, very unique and original. Yeah.
Although, like Dennis Cowan has that same kind of scratchy approach sometimes, but Sienkiewicz can move back and forth between so many styles. I mean, he's just an amazing artist.
Yeah, definitely. I love this cover so much.
Oh yeah, the cover is so yeah. Oh, that's poster worthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I love the beginning of this issue. He's acting on a soap opera, Secret Hospital, which Michelini brings back in Spider-Man. That's the soap opera.
That's right. Yeah, that Mary Jane was on. Yeah, Secret Hospital.
It's little details like that made the Marvel universe of the 80s just like, yeah, this is a place. There are people in this place, and there are things that we hear about, and it gave it a cohesion that I think a lot of has been lost over the years.
Yeah.
Well, once again, that was the Michelini era, but
then
he gets fired because they can't afford a reshoot because his eyes go.
Yeah.
I love this little comment too on the very first page, how they make a reference to the safari jacket. Sorry, my dear, I'm off to hunt a rhino in Kenya, and I can't go dragging a helpless female and a rugrat through the bush behind me.
Got to go on safari.
I love that they wrote that into the script to explain why he's wearing that jacket.
So I'd forgotten about this, but once I saw it, I remembered. So like he could switch his eyes back and forth, because later on he wouldn't switch his eyes. He was just like,
I forgot about that too. That part took me by surprise, but I guess he had control over it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I guess it's like a muscle. It's like he has to flex it to make his eye, look normal.
Yeah.
If he like he says here, if he forgets, his eyes are just.
Maybe it started giving him a migraine. He was like,
there we go. I need my red glasses.
That's right.
Because once again, he's mostly energy, so like he can we've seen him alter his appearance, but
yeah, and his physical mass has changed and fluctuated.
And I mean, look at this point. Look at his hair. His hair almost looks like almost grayish at this point.
Yeah.
By the time we get that ongoing in the 90s, that's jet black and
exactly.
Right. Well, I think he had started coloring it, right, to make it look.
Oh,
because But I think that was something that happened in West Coast Avengers, because when he started out in the ongoing title, he had the gray hair, but then he started coloring it when he got the mullet due, and I think it was something to do with
Probably Hollywood.
He said he wanted to look more, look younger or something like that. I can't remember.
So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I said Hollywood. It reminded me when me and Justin were saying eventually one of these episodes we're gonna have to cover that Guardians of the Galaxy stuff where he's Hollywood.
Hollywood,
Wonder Man 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
So I have these issues. I know I do. I remember them coming out around the same time, but when he got the mullet and the Christmas tree outfit, that was also about the time the 12-issue Vision of Scarlet Witch series was coming out, right? Because I remember him. He was very much a part of that series as well.
Yes.
So I think that was West Coast Avengers, not the limited series, but somewhere in that West Coast Avenger, the Englehart, right? I think Englehart.
Yeah, it's like the early,
in
it's
the
like
very
around the early
beginning.
issues, I think. Yeah, like 1 and 2, maybe. Yeah.
Because I think he had the Christmas
Ultron
tree during Lost.
Yeah,
Well,
Ultron and the Grim Reaper had their alliance in that story.
Yeah, because isn't it like in the miniseries he had this safari outfit, but then in the first couple in the ongoing series, the first issues, he's already in that Christmas tree outfit.
Maybe I don't remember, but
I think he had like the W, like the. What am I trying to say?
Like the
tank top.
Tank top one. Yeah, I think that was
the tank top one.
And
then he switched it to the Christmas tree one because he wanted to look more like a traditional superhero. I think was his reasoning behind that. I think if I remember right.
I don't know because I remember one issue. What is it? Is it West Coast Avengers 25? He's in the tank top. It's like him punching the Abomination.
Yeah.
Yes. Was he wearing this during the Lost in Space time?
I think he was wearing the Christmas tree, wasn't he?
He was wearing the Christmas tree one during that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was the second year of West Coast Avengers. He changed to that, maybe.
That Christmas tree outfit, that's definitely going to scare the cowboys and the ancient Egyptians when they travel back in
Absolutely.
time.
I can see that coming over the sand dunes from a mile away.
Depending how far back we go, he'd inspired Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Old Christian holiday is based on worship not of the baby Jesus, but of Simon Williams.
That's right, Wonder Man.
Wonder costume inspired a whole religion.
But yeah, then you get the whole the recap pages of how Baron Zemo gave him his powers. And
the origin recap was nice for people who didn't know the character. Yeah,
which you thought they would have put in the Marvel premiere issue, but.
Again,
yeah.
Because again, this is his own thing. Oh, I love when the cab gets stuck in traffic and he picks up the cab and carries it to the street.
For a brief minute before he started smoking, I was like, "Is that Jake Lockley?"
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. What the heck? Then we get the cameo by Ant-Man, Scott Lang.
Yeah, I liked that. That was a nice little surprise.
Helping my friend Scott Lang here.
That's a character that Michelini has used in a lot of his runs. He shows up in the Iron Man run. He shows up in Avengers, and I mean I love Scott Lang. He's awesome.
Yeah, great character. Yeah,
kind of improved on Hank Pym.
I'm a Hank Pym fan. I think the Jim Shooter. I just pretend that issue didn't happen.
God, look at your favorites: Hank Pym, Hal Jordan,
Quasar, Scott Lang. What is wrong with me?
how Jordan came up today, and me and Lilith were like saying, "Oh, look up your teenage daughters."
Oh.
Hey, Jeremy Adams says by the end of his run, everybody's gonna love Hal because he's a nice guy.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's coming in a few weeks. Yeah.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Oh, and then once Wonder Man gets him in the mansion, he's training in the danger room.
Yeah, I liked that part. That was cool.
Yeah.
I do love the end of the conversation too. I just thought that was sweet. He's paused the giant robot about to pound him. He goes, "Yeah, here you go. All right, that's
carry on."
Yeah, it's hit the button, just
slams him into the floor. I love the part with the dog too. How he befriends the dog that he saves from the fiery inferno.
Oh yeah, it's because he's trying to get a job at Cordco.
Oh, and here was a part too that I take issue with this dialogue. Okay, I have to find this panel. When when Simon's basically talking about how poor he is, and the reason why, he goes, "Phew, as a reserve Avenger, I'm entitled to a monthly payment, but my pride won't let me accept it." What?
Exactly.
What did you just say to me? No. My pride
and if
accept it.
If I remember right, wasn't it like when they mentioned this was like $1,000 a week or something like that was their stipend, which was just this unimaginable amount of money to me when I was 11 or 12 years old. It's like,
for a lot of people for 1986.
Oh yeah, because I think
$1,000 a week.
I think it was in this era. I think there was was it a Roger Stern Amazing Spider-Man, or was it in the Avengers? Either in the Avengers or Amazing Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man tried to join the Avengers because like he heard they got paid $1,000.
Yeah. He was tired of being broke all the time. He wanted a decent paying job. Doing what he did best.
Well, yeah, because he wouldn't have to take pictures. He could focus on school because he was back in school for like the 5th time,
Right? Yeah. 5th time's the charm.
Exactly.
But yeah, that whole comment about him entitled to some benefits, but not taking them out of pride. I was like, what an idiot.
What an idiot.
So I had to point that out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're putting, no, you earned it. You punched the absorbing man in the face. You're good.
That's right.
With your fist that hit as hard as the Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Yes. By that time, he had paid his dues to get a monthly stipend. He'd gone through that whole thing on the Wundagore Mountain. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And of course, the whole Korvac thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Korvac thing alone should have set him up for the rest of his life with monthly payments.
Exactly.
Like, okay, you get a bonus for that, Simon.
And we'll forget you ever had a Christmas tree costume.
That's right. That's right. We'll get you your own personal tailor this time.
Exactly.
We'll pay for it ourselves.
Oh, that joke from the annual. Yes, my worst villain, my costume designer.
Yes. I love that.
That was awesome.
I love that. It was great to hear Jeff Johnson's comments about those costumes too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know this is the Marvel universe, but like Cordco is just basically opening up portals and
just like it's nothing. Yeah.
I know
deal.
I know we're looking for like alternative sources of energy and stuff, but it's like, yeah, let's just like split the cosmos open. Let's open a portal to another dimension.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
But all these little people come out who are like just like fighting.
2 different groups of little goblins. Yeah.
Like, who's on which side? Because there's green helmets and blue helmets.
Yes. They're color coded. Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Ultimately, nerdery won them over because of a calculator, right? I mean, that was
That's true.
Some of this action stuff, I'd like to, like wonder, like he picks up one of those, like that big metal pipe, just rips it in half, and just like starts scooping him up like a bulldozer.
Yeah. It was interesting, but because I think it really pointed out that he's kind of reluctant. He's a reluctant hero because he doesn't think things through. And if she was like, "Go do this, go do that," and he was like, "Okay, those are." Dang it! Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, he's very reactionary. Yeah, he's very reactionary. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I just love that part where he rescues the dog. Oh my gosh, Belker's trapped. Don't worry, fellow, got you. I love that.
And is this the issue? Because I read them both at the same time, or he makes a comment about his Gucci coat that safari coat's like Gucci or something.
Something, yeah.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because they sunk him into the cement.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't hurt me, but my coat.
I mean, if you're vulnerable and like you're always wading into stuff like this, wouldn't you go for the unstable molecules?
Well, he's got later on, a couple panels later, he's got a brand new one, so he must have a whole closet full of these. Yeah.
Buys in bulk.
That's right. Bulk discount. Exactly.
But I mean, in that first one, I do like that we do mention that he was like an engineer and stuff, and ran his own company.
Well, and we do get a point where he's like, "I'm just gonna smash it because I'm an idiot." Oh wait, I'll just pull the plug. Okay, that works.
Oh god! And then the where is this? Whatever. The bar or whatever, and the guy comes over and starts giving Wonder Man crap, and he just like rips the bar stool, off the floor. Just
how tough are you in real life?
Pretty tough.
I love that.
God, and then the stupid scientist at Courtco. I gotta have to prove myself, so I'm just gonna plug this machine back in.
And said my boss.
Oops. I guess I can kiss that bonus goodbye.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then as they're going in to rescue the boss, then Wonder Man gets that call, and he has to decide whether to go in and save the boss or answer this Avengers emergency.
I liked that too, how he was faced with that choice, like right at the end of this, like what to do. That was cool. That was really cool.
Yes, because this is where we get the Sandman.
Yeah. And that was a good fight. I liked that battle.
Yep. He actually used his brain.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yeah, because they basically have to send Wonder Man in because it's they're battling pretty much in a nuclear reactor.
Yeah, and that was smart too, how they engineered that so that he was the only one who could do it. Because at that time, that in the Avengers roster, I don't think there was anybody else that could have taken care of that situation.
No, I mean, multiple power-ups later, I'm sure Captain Marvel could do it, Miss Marvel at the time, or
but the other
maybe.
Well, they said the only ones. I mean, the only ones we see here are the Wasp, Captain America, and the Vision. And they even say, "Oh, the Vision circuits would even melt."
Would melt. Yeah. But I thought this was a very well done issue. I enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I've read it, and it was a nice reread.
Yeah.
And the art from Kerry Gamble was excellent. I always enjoyed his artwork. A lot. I felt like he's kind of he doesn't get enough praise, but I always enjoyed everything I saw of his. All the Spider-Man stuff that he did, all the Superman stuff that he did was excellent. I just any time I've seen Kerry Gamble's pencils, I've always been pleased with it.
Yeah. Because once again, I mean, the art in the Marvel premiere was good, but I think the Gamble art was the better art. Yeah.
And that's no slight on Ron Wilson or Joe Sinnott because they're a great combination. I felt like for that story, that was a good team for that story. I wish that they had given him more to do in that story. I felt like in this one, though, Wonder Man #1, they did give him enough to do. I felt like this was the story that he should have had in the other one, but I'm happy that he finally got it in 1986. Yeah.
Well, it's like the point Will was making. It's like that first one is basically Wonder Man, fighting an industrial espionage. Here, I mean, stuff worthy of Wonder Man, like
right,
beings from another dimension. He's fighting the Sandman. Yeah, so
It's almost like that other story could have been like a Hawkeye story or a Black Widow story or a
Pretty much.
Falcon story, like some street-based superhero that didn't have a whole litany of powers like Wonder Man. But this second Wonder Man #1, the second issue, definitely felt like it was written for Wonder Man.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Which I should hope so. It's because it's titled Wonder Man.
Well, one would hope, right?
Yeah. The other one was Marvel Premiere Wonder Man.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if it's like because there was 2 writers on that first one, but like one of the writers on that first one was Bob Layton. I'm like, I would have rather seen Bob Layton pencil the issue.
Yeah.
I can't remember him writing a ton, but his pencils like on Iron Man and stuff. I'm like, oh, he should have penciled this.
Yeah,
he's fantastic. Yeah,
and he and Michelini have worked together so many times and on such great stuff too. So it's odd that
it's a great combo.
Yeah, it's odd. You had a great art team and you had a great writing team on that first issue, but it's just such a dud. You know?
It is a dud.
Or I wonder, had Layton written before this? I wonder, was that like Layton's maybe attempt at writing for one of the first few times, and they're like, "Oh, we'll put Michelini on there to help him out if he needs,"
maybe, I don't know, but he had probably helped with plotting, a lot of those Iron Man issues. So I don't know, but yeah, this is definitely Wonder Man #1 is far superior to the Marvel Premiere #55. It's a good book. Great cover.
It actually feels like it has a resolution at the ending. Like it has a clear-cut ending. It's a good ending. It makes sense. And it's the pacing of the story is better too.
And the cool thing is, and I think this is one of the reasons why I think Michelini is such a great writer, is that at the end of the story, Wonder Man is still pretty much in the same position he was at the beginning of the story. So there's been an illusion of change because we got a great story, but he's back at a point where another team can use him for perhaps, I don't know, something like West Coast Avengers #1. I don't know.
Right. It dovetails neatly right into that first issue.
Yeah. I mean, it's he I really feel like Roger Stern, Mark Grunwald, journeyman comics writers that told a lot of stories over the years, but don't quite get the respect I feel like they deserve because they told a lot of really good stories.
Yeah, it's people that believe that you can't have quantity and quality at the same time.
Yeah,
but in a lot of cases you can have both, and those writers are perfect testament to that.
Well, and again, from the past, it's like sometimes a lot of stuff, older stuff doesn't get collected, or it's like, unlike the 90s, a lot of this stuff isn't connected to big events and stuff. So a lot of it, slips through the cracks, especially if it doesn't get reprinted.
Or it doesn't have any connection to any adaptation, to any MCU stuff, any Disney Plus stuff. Like if it isn't being adapted to any show or movie, like, maybe it'll get ignored.
So
speaking of that, have we had any more news about Wonder Man in the MCU?
I don't think
they cast. I believe they cast the villain for that show.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Grim Reaper.
Is the Grim Reaper, right?
I thought they confirmed it was the Grim Reaper. Yeah.
So that they have cast him. I think. I heard a rumor that they cast Necra, but maybe that was just a rumor. I think it was just a rumor. Yeah, it was one of those clickbait articles. I think probably.
Yeah, when's that supposed to come out? Because we might have to do an episode on that.
I feel like that's next year, 2024.
Maybe. Demetrius Gross as Eric Williams, the Grim Reaper. Oh my lord, Ben Kingsley's back as Trevor Slattery.
Yes. He's going to be probably the acting coach for movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
I helped fight the Dweller in Darkness. You know,
Yeah.
saw a bunch of dragons. Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of good series then if that's next year. This Daredevil.
I don't know. I can't find anything that says a date, like even a year. It doesn't really.
I don't know if they've set a date, but I mean, if they're starting to cast, they can't be more than a year or two out.
The casting's a good sign.
Green Lantern. Green Lantern. Sorry.
No, this is Marvel. They can get stuff out.
Okay, gotcha. Because we had a series that was written and casting, and they were fitting, and then it's gone, and now it's another series that whatever. I just
they're still working on that Green Lantern series. Will it'll be out by the time I don't know before our children pass away.
Right? Yeah.
Perhaps.
One day.
I just want a good Green Lantern movie, please, and continue the Green Lantern animated series.
They have to put all their energies into getting out that Ezra Miller Flash movie after 10 years.
Oh my god!
Yikes! What a mess.
I know.
That gets into when we talk Wonder Man, we can't help but mention the writer we can't mention, right?
Right.
Oh, that's the other thought I had. Are they going to be tempted? I know right now on Marvel Unlimited, they only have like Wonder Man 7, 8, and 9 on there because they're Operation Galactic Storm issues. Are they going to be tempted to reprint them all, even though it's by He Who Will Not Be Named, just because Wonder Man's coming to the MCU?
For the benefit of Jeff Johnson and Terry Austin and everybody else that worked on the book,
I hope so.
I hope so.
I'd hope so too. I would like to see that whole series collected. Yeah,
I think it'd be a great little omnibus. I mean, it's 27 issues
plus a couple annuals. Yeah, it'd be fantastic for one volume. Yeah,
but
and like I said earlier, they could do a volume of all the 80s stuff. They could have these 2 issues. They could have a bunch of the West Coast Avengers stuff. They could have the solo Avengers. They could have the Marvel Comics present stories in there. That would make a nice volume too. I would pay money for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It seems like Marvel and DC has held off on reprinting He Who Will Not Be Named. This is stuff. His Green Lantern, his Wonder Man.
Green Lantern, yeah.
His Justice League Europe,
And that Green Lantern stuff was key. Like that was some.
It was the first 48 issues, the first 47 issues of Volume 3. It's like...
And Emerald Dawn. Emerald Dawn 1 and Emerald Dawn 2.
Right,
so
that's right.
It's
Mosaic, which I mean, which is
another big one.
It's such an interesting series that I'm conflicted about because there are things in it that the writer does that I feel like maybe he's not the best person to tell the story, parts of the story that he's telling. But I mean, it's such an interesting series, it really is. Visually, and the writing on it it's just a really weird superhero book that there's not much else like, I mean, it's But
yeah, I mean, like you said, I kind of hope they do reprint that stuff just because Jeff Johnson and all the other people who worked on various stuff he wrote that deserve, especially that Wonder Man series.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jeff Johnson did such great work on that. It needs to be seen by more people. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I wonder, do they get like residuals, like anytime that's like read on the app or something, or?
I don't know. I would hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so too. And again, I mean, if there's trades, let's get them some residuals for like trades and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because again, friend of the show and super nice guy, Jeff Johnson. Come on.
Yes, he is a super nice guy.
And super awesome artist too.
Yes.
All right.
Before we go, you guys should look up the cover for Solo Avengers number 13. When I was looking through Wonder Man appearances for future episodes, I came across this little jewel, and I thought, oh my word, look at that cover.
Looking for it right now.
Looking off for because if I find it, maybe I'll share it. Oh, the split cover, yeah.
Yeah. Holocaust in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
With the big bunny guy. Oh, I laughed so hard when I saw that. I was like, I gotta show the guys this one and see what they think of this.
I mean, it almost looks like a poor attempt at the Buy Beast, almost.
It does. At first, I squinted. I was like, "Is that the Buy Beast?"
Yeah. Look at the first issue of Solo Avengers. The interior art is actually on the Mockingbird story, I think, is Jim Lee.
Oh, it is. Yes.
There's the Solo Avengers 13 for anyone watching this.
And I don't know who did the cover to number 1. Let me look here. Let's see. Come on, give me the info.
Mark Bright. It looks like.
Mark Bright, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jim Lee did the Mockingbird story, 11 pages.
Wow.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I used to love this series, Solo Avengers.
I did too.
Yeah.
I haven't read all of them. I've read some of them, but yeah, that's another one I want to revisit.
I feel like when it was Solo Avengers, it was still West Coast Avengers and still Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When they tried to, when they renamed it and it was Avengers West Coast then, and then Avengers Spotlight or
yeah,
whatever they called it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that just, as much as I really like the artwork, and so oftentimes the stories that John Byrne tells, Avengers West Coast is not my favorite story by him.
when it changed from West Coast Avengers to Avengers West Coast, that whole shift, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was such a
there's that Jim Lee Mockingbird, yeah.
Al Williamson on inks too. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And hey, I guess we can say all we want, but she did come back because of a certain writer, so there you go.
Oh, yes, because Secret Invasion, another something coming up here soon.
Yes. I love Mockingbird.
Because we can thank Bendis for something.
Yes.
And as much as I loved the Avengers, Secret Invasion was kind of the last. I was like, I realized at that point that this is not going to change. This is not for me. It's time to pull the Band-Aid off.
Just the event in general, or just that they roll from one event and they don't even end one event before another one starts rolling? And
yeah, it was.
That was really what did it for me. Just the constant events. I was like, take a year off from the events and just go back to simple stories for a little while. And that way, when you do the events again, it will have been a while. It will have been a while since the last one, so it will be more impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, even from our conversations with DG Chichester, like he was saying, it's like even as far back as the 90s, it's like you get pressure to do events, and it's like, well, you want me to promote your book, editors or whatever, like you want me to promote your book. What can you give me? Are you doing an event? Are you doing something big happening? Are you crossing over someone else's book? It
was always starting with that. Yeah.
If you're just doing a same old monthly book month after month, not a lot you can promote there. But hey, you're doing an Operation Galactic Storm. Hey, I can promote that.
But look, I get that it's comics are commercial art. It's sell. You have to sell comics.
These days. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Chris Claremont on the X-Men. He didn't do an event in the X-Men until he was pressured to in the the mid '80s. And he had been on the book.
What? I think a decade, right?
A decade at that point.
Yeah, I think around that, yeah.
And they're not even letting the top guy, men and women, do that these days.
Yeah.
10 years, you're lucky if you get one or two.
Yeah, two
Well,
is
and
amazing.
I have to give a shout out to Kelly Thompson because she's been on Captain Marvel for 4 years.
Yeah, her run's
Her
about to end with 50. Yeah, she got Carol
issue
Danvers
50.
50 issues. That's why I said, I'm like, Captain America, Iron Man 4, they can't do that at this point. And she got Carol Danvers to 50.
Exactly, and that's a huge accomplishment. So congrats
That's a
to
big
her.
deal. And also Jed McKay going strong still on Moon Knight, and we're going up to
Yes.
issue 25. That's
Nice.
also a big deal, I think. Yeah.
How far did Al Ewing make it on the
Oh,
Immortal Hulk?
50. Yeah.
50, about 50 as well. Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, in this day and age, that amount of issues with a consistent, at least writer. If you had a consistent team, that's completely unheard
Writer
of at this
and
point,
artist. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the only other one might be like Chip Zdarsky on Daredevil, although like they reboot, like he did, I forget how many,
Lots
like
of
30,
number ones,
we did
right?
we did 30 some issues, then they did Devil's Reign, like that event, and then they came back and renumbered it as Daredevil
Another
number one
number
again. Meanwhile, it was the same writer. It's like, oh, at that point they rebooted with the same writer.
What's another number one?
Yeah.
We can do 30 more variant covers.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I have to please the fans here. Yes, Chip Zdarsky, who writes Daredevil. Uchi's leaving soon, and he's also writing
Batman. My
Yes.
favorite character.
Ray's favorite character.
Chances never zero, Ray, especially when you're not here.
That's right.
Well, you know when you are here, but
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
oh, he said he's been obsessed with that Marvel game. What is it, like a card?
Yes,
like
Champions.
yeah,
The card game.
Yeah, he said
he got all the expansions for that. It's been super fun. Yeah,
cool. Any Quasar in it? Any Quasar?
I don't remember if he said there was Quasar.
I'll have to ask him. I know.
Yeah,
I know Moon Knight's in there, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I bet Quasar is. He must be.
I'll have to find that card then.
Oh no!
Another item for the collection.
That's right.
Isn't it digital? It's not like physical cards, is it?
Oh, is it? It's a digital game.
No, it's a actual physical cards.
Oh, is it?
I think.
Oh,
yeah.
I
think you actually buy you make the deck yourself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would buy the cards just to display them.
Yeah. Especially if they got Quasar on them.
Yes,
absolutely. You can put that in a frame, perfectly in a little frame.
Quasar. I wonder if they have Wonder Man.
Wonder Man. Speaking of which, do you
guys
remember those?
Scott Lang, Ant-Man.
Do you guys remember those old Marvel Masterworks art they used to do for the cards? But they actually did a series of like pinups of those, of the Joe Jisco artwork.
Yep.
And I bought a few of those. I've got a Moon Knight one, and I've got a Sleepwalker one, and a Darkhawk one, and a few others. But
they actually, it was on Kickstarter 2-3 months ago. They're actually doing a hardcover collection of his Marvel masterpieces that Jisco did.
Oh, lovely! I would get that.
Tell you what, let me remind me after we end the show, and I'll see if I can find that link for you.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love that.
I'll have to find a display because I was showing Justin. I still have my Marvel cards from the 90s, so I do have a Quasar card.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's the best Quasar card right there, Phil.
Oh, Greg Capullo, yes.
Oh, did Greg do that one?
Yeah,
Ooh, nice.
Because he was drawing the book for a while.
He was drawing the book at the time. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Yep. He did. He actually did the most Quasar pages for the series. I've got a spreadsheet, of course. I'm not right. We know this. But he did 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Skip 26 and 27. Did 28, 29, 30, 31. Did not do 32 or 33. Then did 34 through 38. So I think he did the most single issues of Quasar. Paul Paul Ryan, who's unfortunately no longer with us,
Basically started the series, yeah.
did the first 6 issues. Mike Manley did 7 through 17, and then Greg Capullo did a really long run, and then we got an issue and a half of another Steve Lytle, who's also no longer with us. And then we got Andy Smith. And we got some fill in here and there with like Grant. What is his name? Grant. I can't remember. I should know this stuff. I'm gonna lose my Quasar
How
card.
dare you? How dare you? You have the Quasar website. How dare you?
There's some Mike Manley too in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Journey in the mystery. Yeah.
Punch a Watcher. Quasar did it first.
That's right, and he did it best.
That's right.
Oh my God. Okay, you said the Watcher. Are you guys watching the new Beavis and Butthead?
I haven't seen any of it yet. Is it good?
There's a few episodes where like they'll look in on like an alternate universe where Beavis and Butthead have aged and now they're like middle aged, but like to like introduce the episodes, they have like smart Beavis and smart Butthead from like an alternate universe, but they're dressed like the Watchers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're wearing the robes. They're even holding them because, like, even like the episode from this week, like they opens up, they're standing like on a comet or something, and like I think Butthead like holding his hand out, like they're doing like the poses and stuff.
I love it.
And I think they even say something about like this, we're gonna look at this Marvel or something, so they know what they're doing. Big Tudge knows what he's doing.
I love that.
Nice.
They have the bald heads and everything.
Comes with age.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think we just pretty much covered everything I wanted to say on that one.
Will wanted to flex his nerd muscles anymore.
As always, a lot of fun hanging out with you guys and
definitely.
talking Wonder Man.
Super fun, as always.
Oh, so the next episode will probably be in September, kids, when Little Hellfire's away. So should we pick what we're doing next? I mean, we have months, but or should we put up a poll? Should we come up with a couple of choices and do a poll again?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's do that.
We could do a poll, yeah.
We'll do like, the Wonder Man and Beast, the miniseries, or like, or the other choice could be like Avengers 9 and like when he gets resurrected. Or some West Coast Avengers, or
regular
the Avengers.
Morgan's.
Let's see, the Morgan Conquest, the first of it, where he gets resurrected again.
Yes.
That is a great story as well. I'd love to cover that one.
That's Kirby Crackle.
Yes,
that is
living Kirby Crackle. Yes,
or even some Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Year 3000.
Wonder Man in the future.
Oh, these days they would call it Old Man Wonder Man.
Old Man Wonder Man. Yeah. Old Man Simon.
All right. So stay tuned. Oh, you know what? I've been thinking about creating social media for this, even though we don't do it on a regular basis, but I might have to now just put the damn poll up. But
yeah,
but check out follow Capes and Lunatics, and if I come up with more social media, I'll let you know. But so I'll have the poll up. So between now and September, vote on what you want to hear about Wonder Man next, or just email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-Capes. And please send us feedback, because Ray was supposed to send us feedback this time and he did not. So
slacker.
Do not fail the city like Ray did.
That's right. Tell us what you think of that Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with Justin. All right, so you join me every week on Marvel Tales, and then once a month you join me on We Are the Night, the
Batman podcast.
Ray, chance number 0. Where we've been covering some Nightfall, Night's End, Night Quest. You do the Lord's work that Lilith will not do.
That's right. As bats in full effect.
But also tell people about your other podcasts. With that maniac.
My good pal Russell and I also co-host Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where we talk twice a month about everything to do with the Hulk and She-Hulk. And also, Russell and I are joined once a month by the High Priest of Khonshu, Ray himself, for Predator and Prey, the Yocha podcast, where we talk about everything to do with the Predator in action figures, movies, comic books, and more. Yeah.
The Lost Library of Legends.
Well, that's people have heard that enough, I think, for tonight. The Lost Library of Legends is coming soon.
And again, anytime I hear that Predator podcast, I'm just like, you know what? Ray's always busy until you find something he loves. Then he's like, oh, yeah, I'll jump on. So if anyone has starting up a Tigra, Hercules, or Multiple Man podcast, yes, you can.
Yes.
The Ray.
Hercules podcast. Yeah.
Well, that escalated quickly. Tapping my way downtown.
All right, now for Mr. Will Allred, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, because yes, he remembers all Quasar's appearances, master of his own Kickstarter comic. Will, where can people find all your stuff?
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and all those places. And if you'd like to check out the comics that I write, you can find Crossover Division right now live on Kickstarter. Thank you, Phil. The hardcover that collects the first 4 issues is live right now on Kickstarter. And if you want to go check that out, you can go to crossoverdivision.com/KS or /Kickstarter. Either one will get you there. And check it out. We got lots of different rewards that you can, physical catch-up tiers, individual issues, the hardcover. It's lots of fun. And if you'd like to check out another book that I do, it's called Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And Phil is not, and Justin at this point, are not the only awesome podcasters that I annoy on a fairly regular basis. Kevin Joseph, the writer of Tart, and I host a weekly podcast called Explain Yourself, where we bring on comic book Kickstarter creators and have them talk about their live campaigns so that we can, get more eyeballs on indie comic projects on Kickstarter. So it's a lot of fun. Nice. And finally, obviously you have great taste because you're listening to us, which means you also love Quasar, because who doesn't? So if you want to find out more about Quasar, check out the Quantum Zone at quantumzone.org.
I'll put it in my navel.
Yeah, boys, look at the party. I love the party. I am God.
That was a DeFalco issue too, I think, wasn't it?
Yes, that was Hard Blast. Yes.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
And of course, if you think he sounds insane here now,
I of course love Hal Jordan.
That's right, I do.
The kind of maniac we're dealing with here, kid. All right. Thank you for joining us again. We'll be back in September after Lilith Hellfire has to check herself into a clinic after doing 4 months of Heroes Reborn.
Yes, so she's going to need a sabbatical after that. Some intensive therapy.
I don't blame her.
Me either. Even I won't touch Heroes Reborn. I'll cover a lot of dead comics, but I will not
be high. In your underground
and uncensored.
Yes.
She's going to be uncensored for all of that.
Like this is going to go like early on the Patreon, and eventually I'm going to put it on the regular feed. Those Heroes Reborn, that's staying on the Patreon because she's going to be epic. Oh, she's not a fan of Captain America to begin with. Can you imagine she does Heroes Reborn in Captain America?
Yeah. Oh man, you would be hitting that beeper button a lot if that was uncensored. If that was actually censored, I mean.
All right, come back, kids.